Good morning. It's a little quieter emergency operations center here, but action is still, of course, taking place across the county. While it is slower or quieter in here, folks are in various areas of response and recovery across the county. The St. Johns River continues to decrease in all areas of the county. The river along Sanford is now in moderate flood, while Harney remains at major flood. I'm incredibly happy to report that Marina Island in Sanford is now out of the flood area, and businesses on the island are reopening. Marina Isle Assisted Living Facility moved patients back into their facility last week. In an overabundance of caution, they moved their residents as floodwaters started to increase with the assistance of public safety officials. This week, we will remove the dam that is currently around Lake Monroe Trauma II Hospital. That was placed there in the event that the waters would continue to rise and affect the hospital. It is important to note that the hospital remained in full operation during this entire event. Seminole County continues to provide points of distribution where food, water, tarps, mosquito spray, and other commodities are provided to those individuals in flood-prone areas. You can visit one of those sites. If you're in flood-prone areas, you can visit one of those sites to get those necessary items. FEMA continues to have the Disaster Recovery Center open at Seminole State College 7 days a week. We currently have seen over 23,100 applications filed for assistance through FEMA currently. SBA, the Small Business Administration, has received 798 applications. So we can see that there is a need for help here in Seminole County, and we are doing what we can to provide it. Over 1,000 persons have come to the Disaster Recovery Center and received assistance navigating FEMA and other types of supplies and needs are met at that particular facility. Over 85 families right now are currently in a temporary shelter or temporary housing alternative through the FEMA TSA program. We continue to meet unmet needs here in Seminole County. Those individuals that may need a tarp on a roof, or their wheelchair ramp fixed, or fence repair, or muck outs, drywall repair, things like that. Currently, over 524 volunteers have supported us in those initiatives, meeting 390 of the unmet needs cases that we've had here in the county. I want to thank our faith-based and our nonprofit organizations that continue to do this incredible work for those that are seniors, persons that are disabled, and other persons that need those types of services. I want to thank our Public Works Department, and the mosquito spraying that occurred last week has had great success. Just a couple weeks ago, we saw over 56,500 mosquitoes in our traps. That's an incredible amount. A lot of the folks that were over at Mosquito Control said they had not seen something like that. This last week, it has decreased to just over 7,300, an incredible decrease. Debris haulers continue to work around the clock to remove debris, to sort debris, and to get debris handled. Over 35% of our debris has been picked up here in Seminole County. It is important to note that we have approximately 1 million cubic yards of debris here in Seminole County. Again, to put that in a mind or a visual, that's 11 of the Spaceship Earth balls over at Epcot Center. So if you've been to Epcot, you know how large that is. There's 11 of those that we have to pick up here in the county. That's yard debris and construction debris, and that's a lot of debris that we have to pick up. So 35% of that's picked up, but it's going to take us a little while to get around. Weeks and months, not days. It is important for me to note that next week we will start picking up construction debris. So if you have construction debris in front of your home, next week we will be starting to do that. The last thing I want to mention is that, and this is also a good thing, goes back to mosquito spraying, that our calls for service has been cut down. So that we've been able to respond much quicker because not as many calls, because instead of 56,000 mosquitoes being in a trap, there's only 7,300. Still a lot, and still something that we're going to be working on. So response and recovery is certainly continuing here in Seminole County. To aid individuals with response, we're very happy about the new DSNAP program, which will be opening here in Seminole County. Casey Penn from the Department of Children and Families is going to come up and talk about that. Casey, thanks for being here with us today. We really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Good morning. Thanks, Alan. Very grateful to be able to be with you all today to give some remarks on some of the services that we are starting here in Seminole County, as well as some of the services that have been ongoing throughout the state. So we're very thankful to Governor DeSantis and First Lady Casey DeSantis for their leadership in rapidly deploying resources for those impacted by Hurricane Ian, as well as our county partners, like Allen Seminole County, who are ensuring Florida families have the resources that they need to recover. So the department's been working really hard to surge resources out into the communities, services such as mental health supports, supplies for families and babies, as well as food and water in impacted communities. We've launched a family support line, which connects families with those who survived Hurricane Michael in the Panhandle. Individuals who'd like to talk to someone from that family support peer line, please give them a call. It is 1-888-850-7935. We've also partnered with the Department of Health and BetterHelp to provide 3 months of free online therapy to those impacted by Hurricane Ian. You can get more information on these opportunities at our website, www.myflfamilies.com/Hurricane Ian. And then we're very excited to announce that today we have opened up registration for the Disaster Food Assistance Program, commonly referred to as DSNAP. This program is for any individual who's not currently receiving SNAP benefits with the state of Florida. We encourage them to go on to the website www.myflfamilies.com/DSNAP. We have online pre-registration applications in English, Spanish, and Creole. So please visit that website and pre-register. We will be opening up the phone lines on Thursday. It is a phased approach on the phone lines. It runs Thursday through Sunday. So please visit that website as well to see when to call in. We've been really efficient through the telephonic process. And we encourage as many people as possible to use that. Once you call in, it's only 8 to 10 minutes on that interview line, and our wait times have been really low. You get your EBT card mailed out expeditedly right after that to you. We will be doing on-site locations in Seminole County. Visit that same website, www.myflfamilies.com/DSNAP, to get further updates on when those on-site locations will be coming, and we are continuing to work with county officials on scheduling those. But if you want early access and you want the most efficient process, we definitely recommend that you call into the telephonic process and get your benefits received. Right now, I'd like to introduce Donna Walsh, Director, Department of Health. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you so much, Casey, and good morning, everyone. As Mr. Harris and Casey have mentioned, the Florida Department of Health, along with the county, continues to respond to the needs of Hurricane Ian. Our environmental health team has been out in the community for the last several weeks with support from the Department of Emergency Management and an EPA lab that was deployed here. We're testing 7 days a week private labs that may have been affected from the hurricane. So far through the weekend, 216 samples have been tested from about 109 households. Of those, either total coliforms or E. coli have been detected in about 22% of the samples that were taken. And so we have put out information, and we will continue to provide information on our website on how you can disinfect your private wells. I know our environmental specialists, as they go out and sample the wells, they are having those discussions with homeowners so that you can safely make sure that your wells have safe water. Seminole.floridahealth.gov is our website that has further information, if you would like, for how to disinfect your wells that may have been affected. This particular service will continue until there's no longer a need. And so please make sure that you contact either the Citizens Information Hotline at 407-665-3604, or the Citizens Information Hotline is 407-665-0000. The Florida Department of Health line to call for assistance is 407-665-3604. As was mentioned previously, it's important that if you suspect that your well may be contaminated, that you want to take precautions. For instance, drinking, the bottled water, boil your tap water and hold it at a rolling boil for at least 1 minute, then let it cool completely before using it to avoid burns. Also disinfecting your tap water by adding 8 drops of plain unscented household bleach, 4 to 6% strength, per gallon of water. And then you want to let the solution stand for 30 minutes after. Of course, if the water's cloudy after 30 minutes, you want to repeat the procedure again. Contaminated drinking water may contain harmful bacteria, viruses, or other more microorganisms that can make you sick. Hence the importance and the need for testing your private wells. Disinfection is just one way to kill or inactivate the microorganisms to make your water safe for drinking. Again, if you have any questions concerning testing your wells or how to disinfect your well if it may have been contaminated, please contact the numbers provided. Another precaution, of course, that we would like to mention is, and we have received, several requests for information, is around debris. As Mr. Harris mentioned, the teams are working tirelessly to clean up the debris, but do take precautions if there's debris in and around your home. Make sure that if you're involved in cleaning up that debris, you're up to date on your tetanus vaccine. Of course, any wounds can lead to tetanus infection if you're not up to date on your vaccines, and that is a service that the health department provides. Again, calling the 407-665-3700 line is our appointment line that you can make an appointment for that vaccine if you need it. Also be aware that floodwaters oftentimes mass debris, downed power lines, and other hazards. Please take precautions if you're approaching areas where there's flooded water and debris present. For further information on other precautions to take, visit our website. Again, that's seminole.floridahealth.gov. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Supervisor of Elections, Mr. Chris Anderson.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Anderson, Seminole County Supervisor of Elections. I'm very happy to report that today is the first day of early voting here in Seminole County. We will be open for 14 days of early voting from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Starting today through November 6th. We have 8 early voting locations, and that will be the county libraries, to include the Aquatic Center in Oviedo, and also our newest early voting site, which is the Westmont Recreation Center. Now, the library services, and I want to be clear about this, the library services for the Oviedo East Branch Library and the Sanford North Branch Library, those library services are closed. However, you still can vote early at those locations. Voters can drop off their vote by mail ballots at any early voting location during the times of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the secure ballot intake station that is located out front of all the early voting locations. All ballots, vote by mail ballots, must be received by our office by 7 p.m. on election night, which is Tuesday, November 8th. Now, you still have time to request a vote-by-mail ballot. A ballot be mailed to you. The deadline to do that is Saturday, October 29th by 5 p.m. So to any voter that may be displaced due to the storm, please call our office at 407-585-8683, 407-585-VOTE. And we can address your concerns and get a ballot sent to you so you can cast your ballot. To my Election Day voters, Election Day again is Tuesday, November 8th. You must vote in your assigned precinct. This is an apportionment year. We did have redistricting, so it's important that all voters know where their assigned precinct is. You can go to voteseminole.gov, click on Find My Record, put your first name in, your last name, and your date of birth. And it brings up all the information that our office has on file for you to include your assigned precinct. And that is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at voteseminole.gov. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to each and every one of you. Again, if you have any questions, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for live updates. We have a wait times widget for all of our early voting sites, so you can look at any of the wait times and choose a convenient location to go and cast your ballot during early voting. Thank you very much, and I will bring up Alan Harris, our Emergency Operations Director. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris, Donna, Casey. Appreciate y'all being here today. I will open it up for any questions. Does anyone have any questions? All right, hearing no questions. Our next press conference, we're looking at later this week. We've been told by the Central Florida Zoo that they're hopefully going to be able to open up by the end of the week, so we'll be doing a big announcement with them when that happens. They're a great partner with us, so we're real excited to see the zoo open. Many of you may have known that the zoo was closed because their entranceway was completely flooded out. In fact, we had to have the animal keepers come in from the back way. We did that with the partnership of Sunrail, Department of Transportation. We really appreciate their partnership. All animals are in good health and very anxious to see people viewing them. So we're real excited about that. Since there are no questions, I'd like to ask Myrna to come up. Myrna always does Spanish from the Florida Department of Health, so she'll do our translation of our conference today. Thank you, Myrna, for being here again with us.
Thank you, Alan. Buenos días, mi nombre es Mirna y estaré dando un resumen de la conferencia de prensa. En primer lugar, habló Alan Harris, que es jefe de la Oficina de Manejos de Emergencia del Condado Seminole, y él pues estuvo hablando de que el personal, aunque no está aquí, como vemos aquí detrás en el Centro de Operaciones de Emergencias, está respondiendo a través de esta emergencia a través del condado. El St. John's River, el río St. John, sigue bajando y Lake Harney sigue pues inundado como mayor inundación. También dijo que Marina Island está fuera de la inundación y ese centro de residentes movió a sus residentes nuevamente a su edificio. El hospital, que también queda en el área, aún sigue trabajando. Ya ha estado trabajando durante todo el huracán y luego del huracán también. Los centros de recuperación de desastres están abiertos para dar información y artículos de primera necesidad para aquellas personas que están afectadas por la inundación. Pueden visitarlos. También el centro de FEMA está abierto en Seminole State College. Ya se han recibido 23,000 aplicaciones, 23,100 aplicaciones de asistencia para FEMA. 85 familias están en albergues temporeros a través de FEMA también. Las personas que necesiten cubrir sus techos, necesiten rampas de emergencia, ese tipo de necesidades, tenemos voluntarios que han estado ayudando en esa área y Alan agradeció a las organizaciones religiosas por estar brindando esa ayuda a través de voluntarios. También gracias al programa de mosquitos por haber sprayed, ¿verdad?, para que ya los mosquitos bajaran. La población de mosquitos estaba muy alta, 65,000 mosquitos en una trampa. Ya han bajado los mosquitos, la cantidad de mosquitos, pero tenemos que seguir protegiéndonos. Sobre 35% de los escombros del condado ya han sido también recogidos. La primera semana, la próxima semana se comenzará a recoger escombros de construcción, así que esté atento a las mismas. Luego de Alan habló Casey Penn, subsecretario de el Departamento de Familias, del Departamento de Familias, ha trabajado para ayudar a la comunidad, ha colaborado también con el Departamento de Salud para Better Health, donde pueden obtener servicios de salud mental. Pueden visitar www.myflfamilies.com/huracán Ian para más información acerca de los servicios de salud mental. También habló sobre el programa de asistencia nutricional suplementaria de desastres, DSNAP. También brinda asistencia alimentaria a individuos y familias afectadas por el huracán Ian para aquellas personas que no tienen servicios actuales de alimentos. La prescripción está abierta del 24 de octubre al 30 de octubre, así que pueden visitar de nuevo www.myflfamilies.com/DSNAP para preregistrarse. Es de jueves a domingo y pueden llamar también al 888-348-0408 de 7 de la mañana a 5 de la tarde para más información acerca de estos servicios. Luego, la oficial del Departamento de Salud del Condado Seminole, Donna Walsh, habló sobre que continuamos también sirviendo a la comunidad respecto a los pozos de agua. Al momento se han analizado 216 muestras de agua de pozos y de ellos 109 de los casos han venido que han venido bien, que no tienen E. coli o coliforme. No tienen bacterias. 22% se ha detectado que sí tiene E. coli, así que le recomendamos a las personas que si sus pozos han estado bajo agua o han estado inundados, que llamen al Departamento de Salud para así poder recibir una muestra, una prueba a su muestra de agua del pozo. Estamos trabajando con el laboratorio móvil de la Agencia de Protección Ambiental. Aquí en el Condado Seminole también es el personal de salud ambiental del Departamento de Salud está visitando para recoger las muestras. Pueden llamar al 407-665-3604 para obtener, para que vayan a recibir su muestra, recogerle su muestra de agua, o al llamar a la línea de ciudadano al 407-665-0000. Recuerde, si el agua no está funcionando, su pozo no está funcionando bien, debe, por supuesto, utilizar agua embotellada o hervir su agua. Y por último también habló Chris Anderson, que es supervisor de elecciones del condado de Seminole. Y Chris Anderson mencionó que hoy es el primer día de votar por adelantado, de 7 de la mañana a 7 de la tarde hasta el 6 de noviembre. Hay 8 lugares, incluyendo las bibliotecas del condado, el Aquatic Center en Oviedo y en Westmont. Así que los votantes pueden llevar sus papeletas a los lugares por adelantados. Están allí los buzones al frente de la biblioteca o de los lugares. También todavía pueden solicitar su papeleta para votar por correo y tienen hasta el sábado 29 de octubre hasta las 5 de la tarde para recibir esa papeleta. Para más información puede llamar al 407-585-8683. Y para los votantes que van el día de elecciones hasta su precinto, el 8 de noviembre, tienen que ir al lugar que le corresponde y pueden visitar voteseminole.gov para más información y saber dónde es el lugar que le corresponde votar. Muchas gracias y que tengan muy buen día.